You are all being lied to, bamboozled, swindled. You really believe that two people go into space? Space? What is space? Space isn't even real. You think that they went to space, got stuck for 9 months. Elon Musk went on a magical unicorn to go rescue them and save them. Did you forget that we are living in a dome and that the earth is flat and that rocket ships just go like this? Stop. You guys clearly have a pea brain. You guys are clearly believing what the government is feeding you. This is the trend that is going around. It is wild to me that we really live in a world where the trend right now is that it was all a lie, that two people didn't go into space, that it was once again just like the moon landing, filmed in a studio, and AI and CGI, and why does it all look fake, and this, that, the other, and it is so bizarre to me. Now, I think a lot of this current narrative, this current trend has to do with just clicks, right? People want to, dive down rabbit holes, and conspiracy theories are a huge thing. People love conspiracy theories. I love a good conspiracy theory. Who doesn't, right? Good, like, hey, maybe this is something. And look, there have been some conspiracy theories that turned out to be accurate and real. And, and when those things happen, it's usually, like, wow, okay. And it does make you question other things, but come on, right? The thing that I think is the funniest is this picture, right? You have this picture that is making its rounds and people are saying, how is the hair different, right? They came back with a tan, but all you have to do is just spend, 10 seconds or have just actually watched The Return of the Astronauts, and you would have saw that that is not how they looked. That was them going to space. That was them getting ready to leave. The suits in which they departed were blue. They returned in white. And yet we live in a world where people don't want to. It takes too much time to look past the headline. It takes too much time to actually do your own due diligence and actually look into, is this accurate or not? Why would I want to do that? That takes too much time. I got another conspiracy I have to look into. And, whether it's the earth is flat and, or the stars aren't real and all of that. It's just, to me, I think it's silly. But there are people that genuinely dedicate their lives. My favorite thing is the guy that went to prove that the earth is flat and spent like an insane amount of money and ended up proving that it was round, which is my favorite thing. The funniest part of all of this, though, you hear a narrative dating back to the moon landing. And many people have tried to prove that it's fake and prove that it's all nonsense, and all of their ideas or reasoning has all been proven time and time again to be inaccurate. And look, I am a man of science, but hey, there are things that it can be a little off-putting or a little bizarre but that's just the world in its nature, right? Like, we've all been in an experience where it's like, this just doesn't seem real, right? Or it's just really bizarre. But the thing that I think is the most interesting is why, right? I mean, you can ask that question for anything if you really want to, but for me, let's say that this was a hoax, that they just wanted to, fake two people going into space, being stuck for 9 months and then returning. Why? Like, what does the government gain? What does NASA gain? What does Elon gain? Right? I mean, the people that are diehard Elon people are going to be diehard Elon people no matter what, right? The supporters are always going to be the supporters. The naysayers are always going to be the naysayers, right? Like, even the moon landing, right? That, okay, sure. In an arms race with the Soviets, right? You're trying to be the first to get to the moon. You became the superpower, right? There are some of these things that happened that people believe didn't happen, and some of them do have logical reasons, right? The moon landing being fake. Again, I don't believe it was fake. I don't know why people still believe that, but nonetheless, people still do, and they probably always will. There's always going to be two sides to a fence. Right? There's always going to be people on this side, people on that side. And no matter how much evidence, no matter how much facts you throw at people, they don't care. Right? People are going to believe what they're going to believe. You're never going to change somebody's mind. But when you're talking about this situation, right? We're not in a race with the Soviets or China or anything like that. Like, what is there to truly gain? I've seen people, they're trying to distract us from something. Like what? Most people don't really care, right? Like how many people were talking about or really cared that the astronauts were stuck in space to begin with, right? Like who? Like people, again, they were there for 9 months, and 90% of the people that are aware of it now didn't even know that they were in space. They didn't even know that they were stuck. But yes, was it a very interesting story? Was it something that was very fascinating? Sure. But how many people truly care? How many people went out of their way and took the time to really dive into what happened and how all this? No one. Right? Like people, like what is it distracting? And as soon as it came, that was it. It was gone, right? The day came, they got saved. And then the next day, everyone was like, all right. And then everybody moved on, and that was that. And life went back to business as usual. So again, what were they distracting? What were they changing? That's the thing, right? If you're somebody who believes, and look, you should always question. You should always be somebody. Like, don't just take things at face value, right? You should be willing to do your own research. You should be willing to look into your own things. And I think that's a big problem, period, in today's time, is so many people are willing to just read the headline and that's it. I mean, look, I've been in the YouTube space for quite some time. I know this is the second video on this channel, but don't let it fool you. I got sports channel, and I make videos and I talk about the Lakers and I talk about various sports teams, and I make the little headline and people just read that and assume, oh, I know exactly what this is. And they usually don't. They usually have no idea. Or you'll get the questions or the comments or whatever about something, and it's like, hey, if you just watched 20 seconds of the video, you would have known that, right? Because it's an inconvenience. Why do I want to take time out of my day to really find out, is this true? Is this factual? Right? If the internet is spewing a bunch of stuff and there is a regular narrative going around, and hundreds, if not thousands, not tens of thousands of people are spewing the same thing, then it must be true, because the internet never lies, right? The internet has never told a lie in the history of the internet, right? But again, that's the world we live in. So many people would rather believe that this was all a hoax and that, the astronauts came back with a tan and, dyed their hair and did all this stuff, when all you have to do is take 10 seconds of your life. It would be quicker for you to just look it up than it is to just read the headline. Astronauts returning, and you can just see all the images. You can see them departing. You can see them returning. You can see it all, right? Again, you're seeing it in this video. You're seeing the images overlaid, right? You know how long it took me to find those images? 20 seconds, if that. And that part of that was just like me getting up, grabbing my phone that was charging, and then being like, all right, let me find some of these images for the video. And here you go, right? And I'll never get it. I'll never understand it. It's like, and again, I'm all for pushing the agenda. I'm all for questioning the authority, questioning the narrative, right? like I mentioned earlier, don't take everything just at face value. But sometimes you have to really look at the context, look at the full picture, and also educate yourself. It's one thing to question something. It's another thing to question something with an educated input, right? It's easy to just say, this is fake. Well, why? Where? How? The typical, phrases. It's just, to me, I just think it's silly. I think it's a silly narrative, but it is insane how much it is being pushed, that this is all a facade. This is all just, we are all just being bamboozled, and I don't get it. But let me know your thoughts and opinions. What do you think? Do you think that it's all fake? Do you think that, no, astronauts weren't stuck in space for 2 days? It's total nonsense. Or do you think of course it was. It is what it is, right? Like, it's the world we live in. It's 2025. I don't know if people know that yet, but let me know down in the comments how you feel.